Alright, we're in the first week of August. We got both hornbecks on the car today. We're going to be using the Adirondack Paddler's Map North. And today we're going to be doing the Whitney Wilderness Loop. So right now we're at the Whitney Wilderness Area Headquarters Ranger Station. This is what it looks like here. There's a lot of cars, a lot of people around. A lot of people. There's actually a group sitting over in the grass over here. I'm pretty sure they're with the racket outfitters, and they're about to be putting in probably. It is a Tuesday. I didn't expect to see this many people here. So today we're going to be starting off at Little Tupper Lake, and we're going to be heading down to Rock Pond. The plan is to continue on from Rock Pond to Hardigan Pond, down the Portage, up the little stream to Little Salmon Lake, Portage to Lily Pad Pond, Portage over to Shingle Shanty Brook, up to Lake Lila, and try to catch the lean-to tomorrow night. And then Thursday morning, the plan is to head up Harrington Brook, get up to the railroad track, follow the railroad track until we get to the portage that takes us to Clear Pond. Take Clear Pond over to Bog Lake, up to Lowe's Lake. We're going to camp at Lowe's Lake somewhere, not exactly sure where. And then from Lowe's Lake, head downstream, do the portage for Hitchens Pond, Lowe's Upper Dam. Continue to Lowe's Lower Dam, and then head down Lower Bog River. Lower Bog River has some Class 2 and Class 3 rapids, so we're going to be doing a lot of portaging here. And then we're going to continue down Round Lake Outlook until we get into Round Lake for Saturday night. And then Sunday morning we will take Round Lake back to where we start at the Whitney Wilderness Area Headquarters Ranger Station. Alright, so this is going to be a multiple day trip. Hopefully everything goes good. We're supposed to be in the mid to high 70s. At night we're going to be hitting down to 54 degrees, and Thursday we might be getting a little bit of rain, thunderstorm overnight while we sleep. Alright, so we're going to pull all of our camping gear out, and we'll go over a little bit about what we've got. Before we head out, I just wanted to show a little bit about my saws. I used to take this one way back in the day. It was a little too small. I wanted something a little more compact that would fit my bag better, so I ended up getting the Silky Big Boy. I like this saw. It's a really good saw. I have snapped blades before, and they do get a little bit rusty if they're not used. I do like this saw. It is good. I just don't really care to carry it on a 5-day trip when I might end up snapping the blade and be stuck without a saw. I got this folding saw here by Spring Creek. I had this saw for a long time. I really did like it. I liked it a lot. But the problem is the metal started bending at the hinges, and then the blade could not stay tight. At camp I started improvising. I was trying to bend the metal straight again, the aluminum, with a rock. Kind of worked a little bit. Then I started putting change from my pocket, pennies and dimes underneath it to try to spread it out so it stays tight. Ended up getting to a point where the blade just doesn't stay tight and I can't use it. It's non-functional now. Probably going to be throwing this one away at some point in time, but I brought that up because I got a brand new Boreal 21 saw, and I'll be using that this weekend. I'll show a little bit about that. So we got our canoes here, got everything packed away in our boats. I'll go over a little bit about what we've got here in just a second. You know, we got our lunch. We're gonna have some subs, you know, out on the water with our iced tea, and then we'll start paddling pretty soon. Let me get my list so I can remember exactly what my packs are here. Give me 1 second. Okay, as far as our bags are concerned, this black bag that I got up front over here, this is our utility bag. It's got all of our, you know, our propane, our flashlights, our gas grill, utensils, you know, silverware, plates, bowls, you know, cooking stuff. Got all that stuff in it. And then back here in my blue bag, this is our dry food. So our utility bag comes in at 23.5 pounds. Our dry food bag comes in at 7.8 pounds, so 7.5 pounds for that. And then Jeremy's bag, the green and black one here, comes in at 17.5 pounds. That's his extra clothes, his tent, sleeping bag, air mattress, all that type of stuff. And then in my bag, I got basically the same stuff. Comes in at 21 pounds, 21.5 pounds. And then I've got my axe and my saw. I'll go over that stuff a little bit later. That comes in at 6 pounds. And then our paddles and our life jackets come in at 8 pounds. We have our mucking boots, comes in at 12 pounds. Both of our boats, they're 24 pounds a piece, so that's 48 pounds total. And then this big gray bag here, that's a 40-pound bag, and with a total of 184.5 pounds worth of gear, including our boats, paddles, and life jackets. So it actually seems like it's a lot of weight, but it's really not that much. And it's going to be a good long trip. We got 18 portages ahead of us, some of them up to 2.5 miles long. All right, so here we go. We're going to get all of our gear down to the water, and then we'll start paddling. So we got a couple handicap accessible parking areas here. Motorized vehicles are prohibited. As usual, we have the Help Protect the Loon sign. I'm pretty sure I've had this in just about every single video. Here's our New York State Rangers phone number in case there's an emergency. There's some bear facts. Everybody loves our Adirondack bears, especially when they come into our camp, take all of our food. Never had that happen, thank God. Some leave no trace. Basically, if you bring it in, bring it out. Don't cause any wear and tear on the trails and the campsites. Here's the loop that we're going to be doing. This doesn't even show the whole thing, but here's part of the map. There's our welcoming sign. Food and odors attract bears. Don't move firewood. We're going to be cutting all of our firewood at site, so we're not bringing any in. Says that our carry has been rerouted. We'll check that out later. Alright, here's our sign-in board. So Jeremy and I will sign in. And I'll let Jeremy sign that as I head down. There's another one. Railroad track between Harrington Brook and the Clear Pond are not DEC trail and should not be used as a canoe carry. We'll have to check that out when we get out there. Alright, so Jeremy will sign that board. There's our welcoming sign again. Some duct tape over something there. Alright, and then here's the boathouse for Little Tupper Lake. This is just for the DEC officers here. And a couple picnic tables up top. I know that there's a bench you can sit down and relax on over here as well. So we've got our boats and all of our gear down here. It'll be a beautiful day out. It is a little hazy. I'm pretty sure that the haziness in the air is caused from the forest fires in Canada. But we're gonna be heading out Little Tupper Lake. We'll be heading out that way. And when we come back, we'll be coming back from that way. So we're gonna be doing a huge circle. This loop is about 55 miles. And we're hoping to get about 11 miles done a day. All right, and we're ready to go. So we're gonna start paddling, and out in the middle of the lake, we'll have our food. And here we go. All right, it's now 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We've got a pretty decent ways to go. So we're gonna start paddling, and we're heading out. Well, let's see what the week brings us. All right, here we go. So we're at the first main island here on Little Tupper Lake. We're just gonna stop here and get some lunch. Been paddling for about 45 minutes or so. I'm not really sure, but I'll check that in a minute and see how far we went and how long we've been paddling. So we're just gonna stop here, grab some food real fast, and then we'll end up heading back out. I think there is a campsite on this island, so we'll take a look at the campsite and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, here we go. All right, so we started off here at the Whitney Wilderness Area Headquarters, and now we're at campsite number 6, which I thought was an island, but it is not an island. So this is 1.92 miles to get to here, and it took us 38 minutes. So I've got my sub and my iced tea. Just want to make sure this doesn't fly away while I go for this little walk here. So we got our boats pulled up, and as you can see, this is campsite number 6, and here's the path. I'm just going to walk up and check out this campsite. Jeremy and I were here, I want to say 5-6 years ago. It's kind of cool. It drops down in. It's kind of neat, but we didn't stay here. We were just exploring Little Tupper Lake back then. We weren't actually camping on that trip. It was just a little day trip that we went on. But I think that this campsite's actually easier to get to from the other side. But let me get up here. I'll show it to you real quick. Here's the campsite. Nice little spot. And then this drops down over to the water. But it's actually a really nice campsite. Little big flat open spots. Trees for hammocks, nice size fire pit. Really no seating over here, but that's okay. All right, so I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna eat my food, and then we'll continue to paddle to Rock Pond. It's absolutely beautiful out here today. It is gorgeous out, but that's where we came from, 2 miles that way. All right, so we got 53 more miles to go. All right, here we go. All right, so we just spent about half an hour just having some potato chips and a sub and our drink. And now we're pushing off from campsite 6. And we're gonna continue down Little Tupper Lake until we get to Rock Pond. We're just going to continue paddling. Our next stop should be our Portage right after campsite 24. All right, we're going to continue. Here we go. So now we're just paddling away from campsite 6 on Little Tupper Lake, and we're just crossing over to campsite 22. I'm gonna go check out this campsite real quick. We don't plan on staying at these campsites, but I like to explore and see what we have available to us out on the lakes. Jeremy and I did explore several of these campsites years ago, but I didn't get it on recording, and it was just him and I out in the Adirondacks exploring in my old town canoe that I had before I bought these hornbecks. Alright, we're going to check out this campsite. It's basically right in front of us. And then we're going to continue down Little Tupper Lake and get to our rock pond stream. Alright, so on the front side of this little peninsula island, as you approach it, you don't see the camp marker, so I'm thinking that the camp marker is on the back side here. That's what it kind of shows on the map. When I get out of the water, I'll show you on the map how it is. Wow, that was a big rock. I came very, very close to it. So I'm just seeing if I can find the camp marker here. That looks like a trail right there, but I don't see a marker. All these big boulders on the side of the shore would definitely make it difficult for a Kevlar boat to get in and out. If you got one of those plastic or aluminum canoes, it's no big deal, but I would hate to crack my Kevlar boat on day one of a 5-day canoe trip. That would basically make it impossible. So I still don't see a marker here. I know that this is where campsite 22 is. Yeah, I don't see a camp marker anywhere, unless it's right over here around this corner. Oh, well, there's a path. This is a pretty well beaten path. Alright, so I'm gonna get out right here. I'm gonna go up and see what this campsite looks like. Alright, here we go. Alright, so I did find the camp marker, campsite 22. I parked my boat over there, just kind of pulled it up onto some rocks. See, somebody left their shoes here. I don't think there's anybody here, but I'm probably gonna take those with us. Kind of sucks to have to carry somebody else's stuff out for 5 days, but I don't feel comfortable leaving it out here. It's just trash at this point. So I'm gonna hike up here and go check out this campsite. I really like these woods. Nice and dark in here. Sun was starting to make me sweat down in the water, down on the lake. But it is beautiful out today. Oh, look at this campsite. Definitely a heavy used campsite. Pretty neat looking. I'm gonna use some really cool driftwood to fashion up a table or a bench. Nice big fire pit filled with ashes. Nobody's dug that out in a while. That's kind of interesting. It's a nice campsite though. Not bad. There's Jeremy. Some nice spots to set up your tent. Some nice spots to set up a hammock. Seems like there's a decent amount of wood on here too. I don't know, everything looks pretty stripped down. Everything's alive. Don't want to burn anything alive, but I'm sure there's still enough firewood here to camp for a few days. Alright, so we're just going to hang out here for about 5 minutes, check out the campsite, check out the island, and then we're going to continue down Little Tupper Lake. There's still at campsite 22. Looks like we got a toilet back here. I'm gonna go look and see how terrible this privy is. This thunder box. I hope that's not it. That would not be cool. Oh, here we go. This is it right here. I'm not gonna open it up. I don't have my dude wipes on me. I need to have a way to sanitize my hands after touching that stuff. But really cool spot. Not too bad, not too far away. This used to probably be the old one. That used to be an old hole probably. Thunder box is probably located over there. You're gonna want to wash your hands now, buddy. Alright, we're gonna jump in our boats and continue paddling. I think we're gonna go grab those shoes and pack those out for somebody. I'm sure nobody's gonna come back for them. It's probably 3 miles out from the put-in, so, and there's no motorized boats allowed on this lake, so they would have to paddle out here in order to get them. I doubt they're going to do that. And as you saw in one of my last videos, things like this last a very, very, very long time. But all right, here we go. We're gonna head out of here. The cool little frog just hanging out. All right, that's neat. Hey, at least in this video I got some wildlife. I don't know why my camera was just flickering like that. So there's one frog and there's another frog. All right, we're gonna start canoeing out of here. All right, here we go. All right, paddling away from campsite number 22 and heading up. Kind of show you where we are on the map. All right, so started here, went to campsite 6, paddled across to 22. Now we're gonna kind of shoot across this way, and maybe we'll go to campsite 15. We have camped at campsite 15, so it'd be nice to get that on camera as a memorabilia. And then we'll head down to Rock Pond. All right, so we're still heading down Little Tupper Lake after we left campsite 22. These islands that are right in front of us, the one on the left has no campsite on it. The one on the right has campsite 18. So we're gonna pass right through these and head to the much larger island that's behind these islands and go check out campsite number 15. Campsite number 15, a few years ago, my buddy Mike paddled out here, and he got here, I think it was like a Thursday, and then Friday after work, my buddy Chris, Jeremy, and we came out here and paddled. We ended up getting out to the campsite way past dark. It was like 11 o'clock at night when we got here, but Mike had to put a lamp, like a camp lamp, down at the water so that we could see where we were paddling to. Kind of like a lighthouse or a beacon. It worked pretty well. We found it. We enjoyed the rest of the weekend there. And then we paddled out that Sunday, the following Sunday morning, real early. And the water was calm like glass. I remember so beautiful outside. The memories that I look forward to recording. That's actually why I started my YouTube channel. So we're gonna head over here, check out campsite number 15 so that some of my friends can see it for what it is now and remember it for what it used to be. So, all right, here we go. We're gonna continue paddling. All right, so we're approaching the island with campsite number 15 and campsite number 14. This is where we camped before years ago. I can't remember if we camped at number 15 or number 14, but I'll go over here. I'll check it out. Once I see it, I'll remember. Not even sure if this is the actual campsite or if this is just a path created from fishing. I don't see a tag on the trees for the camping spot, so it might be around this way a little bit. Well, there's our tree marker right there. Try to get it center and frame. Yeah, I think this was it. Yep. Alright, so here's campsite number 15. This is what the put-in looks like. There's a tree marker. I'm gonna get out here. Oh, never mind. We got people camping up there, so we're not gonna go up. There's their boats. Alright, so we're just gonna continue around. Maybe we can get out at campsite 14 and stretch our legs a little bit. See if there's anybody over here. Well, campsite 14's on the back side of the island. It's pretty warm. I'm sweating. I got sweat going down my forehead and down my face. It's pretty warm out. You probably have a 4-5 mile an hour wind. I'll just continue around until we see this other campsite. So yeah, I am pretty sure that it was campsite 15 that we stayed at. Well, so I'm not going to be able to get that on recording on this trip, but maybe one day I'll make it back out here again and we can actually camp here. This is called Short Island. I'll show it on the map once I can get out of the boat. There is a lot of people here. I got somebody on my left fishing. And then somebody on my immediate left on the shore. Looks like they're all over there swimming in the water. Pretty crazy to see this many people out here on a Tuesday. Oh, let's see, where is it? Should be up here. We gotta go this way anyways in order to get to the little creek that heads over to Rock Pond, so it's not like we're going out of our way. Not really anyways. A pretty cool log sticking out of the water. Alright, so I think this camp is right up here. And there it is. Alright, so this is campsite number 14. And see a dog leash on the tree. Yeah, it looks like somebody's at this campsite too. Yeah, there's a life jacket. And there's a boat. They're probably out fishing right now. So we'll just continue down. We'll head down to Rock Pond. Hopefully there isn't anybody down there because we're going to need a campsite for the night. Alright, here we go. Alright, so come to find out, it looks like campsite 11, 12, 18, 15, 17, 14, 16, and 13 are all taken. A lot more people here than I thought there was. So we're just gonna head down to Rock Pond. We're cutting down through the creek now. This isn't actually the entrance, it's just kind of like a side shortcut to get through. The entrance is actually right in front of me, but kind of a cool sneak through right here. Smells like mud. Alright, so here's the actual entrance to the creek to head down to Rock Pond. Alright, so we're going to continue paddling this until we get to our first portage of our trip. It's a short one. Easy little portage through the woods. And we'll see you when we get there. I got an eagle flying around over here. See if I can zoom into it. Shows you how far away it is. Very cool. Alright, we still got a long ways to paddle, so I'm going to continue doing that. Very nice. Alright, so we got a beaver dam that we got to get over here. Jeremy's going to try to go over off to my left. I'm going to assess the situation here and see what I can do. I don't have my mucking boots on right now. Maybe I'll put those on so I can get out and get over this little thing here. Well, alright, here we go. Alright, I got over that beaver dam. I just got to push myself off a little bit here. Alright, Jeremy made it through. We both made it through dry. That's a good start. So we got a little further to go up this stream until we get to the actual portage. And I believe that one goes around a much larger beaver dam. But alright, we're going to continue paddling. a pretty little spot with all these purple flowers on both sides. I don't remember what they're called. I did post it in my last video, but apparently these purple flowers are edible. I don't know if I'm 100% accurate on that, but based on the stuff that I was reading, it does seem like they are edible. Oh, here we got another little beaver dam here. Pretty sure if I just get a little bit of speed, I can just get right through this one, no problem. Oh, feel it on my butt. Now I gotta take my paddle apart and push myself through. All right, here we go. Jeremy's right behind me. He'll have to do the same thing. But we're approaching this portage up here. This little creek is very pretty. A lot of little weeds coming out of the grass everywhere. We got the lily flowers, little yellow ones and the white ones. Got all the purple flowers on both sides. It's just absolutely gorgeous. You know, thinking it's in August, I was pretty sure that we would have been attacked by more black flies and mosquitoes, but it's actually been really nice out. Haven't had any insects bothering us at all. A lot of people today for a Tuesday. Just about all the campsites at the end of Little Tupper Lake were taken, and hoping that these campsites at Rock Pond are open. That way we don't have to do a 2.5 mile portage before going to bed tonight. But we're gonna keep paddling down this beautiful little creek here. See if we see anything. Very nice out. I'm looking forward to Shingle Shanty Brook. That's one of the creeks that, or streams, that I've wanted to paddle for about 10 years now, and I'm pretty sure that this is going to be the first time I'm going to make it out to it. Alright, I think this is the other portage. Pretty sure that it is. Yeah, so this is the other portage spot. So I'll get out here at this portage. I'll show you what I've done on the map, show you where we are and where we're headed, and then I'll show you the portage and a little bit about this little stream that we got going on here. Alright, here we go. So this is where we got to get out. It's quite a few rocks right here. Jeremy's got the mucking boots on, so it does make it easier. I got some of my gear pushed off to the side and my canoe up here. And this is the water that the portage lets us go around. So I'm gonna walk up here. I'll hike up. Actually, let me show you where we are on the map first. So here we are. So we started off here, as I've said before. We visited campsite 22. We passed 18, that was taken. 15 and 14 were taken. People were swimming at 17. People were fishing at 16. 13 was taken. We didn't actually see 23. We boated right past it. We saw 24, looked like it was vacant. And right now we're right here at this portage. And we're going to go check out campsite 25 and 26. Most likely we're going to stay at 26. I was thinking about staying on the island, campsite 28. But usually island campsites are stripped bare with no firewood. Pretty open and bare because everybody loves to camp on an island campsite. I don't really blame them. When I take my dogs, that's usually what I do, is island camp. But and then tomorrow morning when we wake up, we're going to start off with a 2.5 mile portage to get to Hardigan Pond, and another portage to get up to a Little Salmon Creek, I believe that is. Alright, so this is our portage that we're going to be doing. I'm just going to walk it real quick with no equipment. It's not a very long one. I do remember this from years ago when we were all out here just exploring, and we stayed at campsite 15 on the island. The next day we went out, did a little bit of fishing and did a little exploring, came up to Rock Pond, and you know, we all said that we wanted to camp out on the island on Rock Pond. We've all said it. I have the opportunity to do that today, and I think I might not, because I want resources for firewood. So we'll stay on the mainland campsite. So this is what it goes around. Yep, metal tubes. I remember this. I'll jump down there real quick. Ooh, kind of cool. Definitely not paddling up this stuff. A lot of people hang out over here. Now the horseflies are starting to bite me, but this is what we had to portage around, all this debris, and then we'll be putting in over here, and we'll continue heading up the stream. That water looks really low, so hopefully we can make it through there. All right, here we go. So I didn't mention how far we went. So starting at the put-in, passing the campsites that we passed, going down the creek or the brook to the portage is 6.92 miles. So 7 miles to get to this portage. And it took us 2 hours and 40 minutes. So it looks like we're not going to be able to paddle through this area. It's too shallow. We got to carry our canoes and all of our equipment all the way over there. So we'll be going through the grass. We'll just go right across these rocks, head through the tall grass, and we'll put in down there where you see Jeremy. All right, so we portaged through the grass field here, and got the boats loaded back up. We're sitting next to the water, and then we're going to be continuing to head upstream. Looks like we got another little beaver dam right there that we'll go past, but up here on the right hand side of the river is going to be our campsite. We're going to get over to campsite 26, and we're guessing we'll probably be there in about 20-30 minutes. Did you see the crane? I didn't want to scare him. So we've got another dam that we got to go through right here. This grass that we're going through is very thick. You can barely paddle through it. That's a blue herring, not a crane. It's a blue herring that was just standing right here. So I have a feeling I'm definitely going to have to put my mucking boots on for this. And then we got a little ways to go. Alright, so I'm going to try to put on my mucking boots inside my boat, and then get over this beaver dam. And let me see if I can zoom into that herring that's over there. There he is, right there. He's beautiful. Alright, here we go. Alright, so we got past those couple beaver dams there. That last one really wasn't as bad as it looked. It was completely filled with sand that was packed really tight, so it was easy to stand on it. And there's that herring again. He's up here right in front of me. Oh, there he goes. Very cool. Jeremy was pointing at him that whole time, sure you could see it in the camera. But we don't have very much further to go. We're gonna get to campsite 25 and 26, check them out, see which one we want to take, and then we're gonna set up camp and make dinner. All right, so we're entering Rock Pond, and campsite 25 is right at that peninsula there, right straight ahead of us. I'm not sure exactly where Jeremy's going, but the island right in front of us is campsite 28. We're not going to stay there. We're going to either go to 25 or 26. So I'm going to go check out these campsites, see which one we want. Alright, so we've paddled the entirety of Little Tupper Lake, came down the creek, and right now we're at campsite 25 on Rock Pond. So here's our campsite marker, and here's the lake. This is the entrance of the lake, and here's the rest of the Rock Pond. Those rocks right there, I had Jeremy standing on those rocks one year. I just left them there. It was really cool. But we're gonna go check this out and see what's going on here. I didn't notice it, but looks like there's somebody at this campsite. There's no boat or anything down here, and nothing indicating that somebody's here at the campsite. So I guess campsite 25 is a no-go. We're gonna head over to campsite 26 and check that one out. All right, we're at campsite number 26 now. It's definitely gotten a little more windy. The water's a little more choppy now. But we're all the way out here at Rock Pond. All right, so I'm gonna go up, check out this campsite. I do remember one of the guys on YouTube said that this site was very overgrown. So I guess we'll see what he was talking about. I guess this is the campsite he was talking about. This is not going to work for Jeremy and I. Alright, so let me go talk to Jeremy and see what he wants to do. Alright, so this campsite's definitely not going to work. I mean, there isn't even enough room for a single tent in here. It's more like, you know, put one hammock up. And this campsite's a mess. So we've decided that we're going to try to do the portage and get over to Hardigan Pond. 2.5 mile portage. No idea what the campsite is like at Hardigan Pond, and hopefully there's nobody there. There's only one campsite there, so all right, here we go. Okay, we're at the canoe carry to Hardigan Pond. It's now 5 o'clock at night. Don't feel comfortable doing this, but we're gonna make it happen anyways. Campsites are taken, and the one campsite that we wanted to go to is completely overgrown. So we're just gonna end up heading to Hardigan Pond. All right, here we go. So we're doing the portage to Hardigan Pond, and we're down by the swampy area here. And it just started to rain, thunder and lightning, and this was not in the forecast at all. So here we go. A nice sized beaver dam. Good thing I got mucking boots on. Alright, I want to yell for Jeremy. He's up front. I can hear him, but alright, here we go. So last night, Jeremy and I were having trouble finding the campsite. We attempted to go to Lake Durant and get the campsite there. I think it's campsite 31. After doing this portage, the 2.5 mile portage, we found out that we'd probably be better off staying on the trail. So when we were hiking the trail, we ended up finding this sandy area here. It's a clearing off the path, and it gave us the ability to get off the path and camp on the side away from everything. So this is where we ended up staying last night. It's not a DEC certified campsite, but we didn't have a fire last night. We just used our jet boil to make some ramen noodle, and then we set up the tents in the rain and ended up going to sleep kind of early. We ended up passing out around 9:30, 10 o'clock, and wake up this morning to find out that we ended up sleeping in the coyote's litter box. So there is piles of coyote poop all over the place, and there's like holes dug all over, like they're digging in the ground for something. Probably noticed 15-20 piles of coyote scat. So we're gonna pack up and start moving here and head on our way. It's a very pretty section of the trail. Everything's tall. All the weeds are making all my clothes wet, but we're moving forward. So it might rain tonight, and it's probably gonna rain tomorrow too. So hopefully we can catch this lean-to on Lake Lila or Lake Lila. I've heard it said both ways, so I'm not really sure how to say it. It's Lila, but all right, so we're just gonna continue on. Jeremy's up ahead of me, and all right, we'll see you at Hardigan Pond. There's another fun section of the portage. A lot of frogs jumping. I don't know if I should stay on top or go down below. Kind of looks like people do both. On top probably wouldn't be as much of a trip hazard. Oh, mosquitoes are getting me pretty bad right now. Well, that's pretty cool. A beaver dam all the way around. Like, comes all the way around this whole thing. Well, that's really neat. Oh yeah, the mosquitoes are fierce right here. Oh, mosquitoes are tearing me up. All right, so I believe this goes this way. And this is exactly why we wear mucking boots on a trip like this. It goes up here. Oh yeah. Definitely a lot of places to trip and fall. Alright, so I think once we get over to those woods there, we're in the clear for all this mud. There's definitely a lot of swamp going through from Rock Pond over to Hardigan Pond. There's just swamp water everywhere. Black flies and mosquitoes like crazy. Alright, keep going. Saw a little bunny, a little rabbit. He's only 5 feet away from us right now. Like there he is. There's my boots. Only a few feet away. Very cool. Alright, I'm gonna leave him alone. I don't want to scare him. We're on the portage. I just saw these pretty flowers. I don't know what they are, but I'll use Google image and see if I can figure out what it is. They're really cool looking. Alright, here's campsite 31 on Hardigan Pond. Looks like there's a lot of lilies out there. Here's the campsite. It's not very big. It's not far from the water. But looks like somebody left some firewood here. And it's not a bad little campsite. It's small. But I guess there's enough room here for 2 small tents if you really needed to. But alright, so we're gonna pack our canoes up, get on the water, and start paddling over to the next portage, which is way down that way. Alright, I'm out on Hardigan Pond. Jeremy's getting his boat ready, getting put in. Hardigan Pond's got a lot of lily pads. It's like the entire lake is just covered with them. The mosquitoes and the black flies here are insane. So we just got to go down that way, and I think the portage is over there somewhere. So we'll just follow this down there until we get to the next portage, and then on to the next lake. So we're at the other end of Hardigan Pond, and there's the portage sign right there. So we're gonna take this portage over to the next lake. Alright, so Jeremy's trying to get out, and this is the portage. So this portage takes us from Hardigan Pond to Salmon Pond. So we got a decent little carry here. If I remember correctly, and I probably don't, it's about 350 yards. So we're gonna head down that way until we get to Salmon Pond. Alright, just got done doing the carry, the portage from Hardigan Pond to Salmon Pond Creek. There's a Truly Falls up there. It's only about a foot or 2 tall. It's not really that big, but some people like to go up and see it. And then Salmon Pond is that way. So we'll be following this for a little while. Alright, so this is Truly Falls. It's literally a 30-second paddle upstream. A nice little river, nice little waterfall. Not very big, but it's kind of cool looking. Figured it'd be worth coming over and getting it on video. Alright, so now I'm going to turn around and head back the other way. Salmon Creek's really nice. A beautiful paddle. Turned out to be a pretty nice day. We might be getting rain later, so we'll see what happens. Alright, after Salmon Pond there, we're going to head up to Lake Lila. Alright, here we go. Alright, so we got a pretty decent sized beaver dam here. Looks like it's over a foot tall from the other side. Maybe even 2 foot tall. So we're going to have to get out of our boats and get ourselves over this real quick. Oh yeah, this is a big one. Now I don't see any paths on either side that we can use to get over it, so we're just gonna have to climb over and hopefully not tip our boats. Alright, here we go. So that wasn't really an easy beaver dam to get over. It's pretty deep on both sides, but we're over it. We're on the other side. We're going to continue down until we get to Salmon Lake, or Salmon Pond. I saw another herring up there. There it is. I spoke too soon. Scared it away. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to catch this guy on camera, but I'm gonna see if I can. It's a really big herring. Herring. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see him again. Yeah, I don't know where he went. Oh, that's a big beaver dam right there. You got another one. Alright, so we're gonna have to get past this beaver dam now. Just trying to find a good spot to climb over.
I think if you bring it over here, you put it into the water.
Oh, it looks like there's, I mean, that's pretty deep over there.
Oh, no, that's easy though.
Is that the spot right there?
I think that would be the spot straight ahead.
I actually think it's over there. Don't fall through. Go slow. So I think I'm gonna try to get over here in the weeds. Looks like people, these weeds are pushed down. Looks like people try.
Yeah. Right down there, Nate.
Yep, this is it. This is where people climb out. All right, here we go. Yep, this is where people do it. Oh, I get deep too. Yeah. Now, this is the spot.
Did you add that in your video?
What's that?
Did you add that in your video? Like,
Yeah, it's all in the video. It's recording right now.
that's definitely a safe spot.
All right.
You able to walk up through this?
Yeah. Come on, buddy. Let me get in.
Oh, you're good.
This is really deep right here. All right. All right, I got that one done. And we'll continue. All right, so we just did the portage to lily pad pond. You gotta carry it through all this marshland here. So I got a little confession for the video. I've been throwing up for the last 2 days, and I'm really not doing too good out here. I thought that maybe I would be able to, just get rid of what was bothering me yesterday and push on and I'd be fine, but I'm just going downhill really fast. So I ended up sending satellite communication text to my girl and asked her if she could come pick me up at Lake Lila or Lake Lila, I don't know how people say it, and get me back to my car. So she's gonna go home from work, take care of the dogs, and then drive out here and get me. That's like a 2-hour drive for her one way. I feel really bad, but sometimes you gotta do things that you really don't want to do. So I just want to say to the love of my life, thank you so much for putting up with me and helping me out when I fall in times of need like this. So I'm gonna take my time, do this portage again, carry more stuff over, and then we're gonna get to Shingle Shanty Brook and paddle that way until we get to the parking lot for Lake Lila, and then I'll just lay down and wait for her, or maybe she'll end up being there before we even get there. But alright, so we're gonna continue on, and hopefully I don't throw up anymore, but I have a feeling that's not going to be the case. Alright, here we go.
I still think you can stick it out.
Alright, we're crossing Lily Pad Pond now and heading over to the portage that brings us to Shingle Shanty Brook. So coming out of the portage, that's like a floating bog right there, and I went right through. I went right to my knee in mud. My boot is full of water, and I really hurt my back. Yeah, so this trip has turned into an absolute mess. If I didn't have Jeremy here, I wouldn't make it. Alright, so we got portage to Shingle Shanty Brook. I'm gonna use my paddles like crutches. I really hurt my back, so alright, here we go. Alright, we're on Shingle Shanty Brook now. We just put in, and we're gonna get to Lake Lila, and hopefully my girl's there when we get there, or hopefully she doesn't have to wait. Alright, we're on our way. All right, so we made it through the Shingle Shanty Brook, and we are now on Lake Lila. It is absolutely gorgeous right here. This is a beautiful lake. There's a big beach over there. You can barely see it. Oh, it's a beautiful lake. All right, so we got to get way over there so we can meet up with Liz. All right, here we go. All right, so we just got to the beach at the Lake Lila parking lot put in. This is the portage right here. We already went up to the parking lot and Liz is there, which is awesome. She was pulling in just as we were getting up to the top of the portage. So this is where I'm going to end the video. Unfortunately, me being sick and throwing out my back and hurting my leg, I just couldn't do the whole 55 miles. But we successfully did 28 miles. That includes doing the portages back and forth. Doing a double portage with all of our gear. So this is where I'm going to end it. You know, Jeremy and I will get back. We will conquer the William C. Whitney Wilderness Loop. We will end up doing it. Sometimes it takes more than one try. But we're here. And thanks for watching Lights on the Water. To see our next adventure, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. So the beginning of the trip, I had brought up my different saws that I had been using over the years for camping. This is one of my first and original saws, and then the Silky Big Boy, and then my folding bow saw that I was having trouble with. Kind of explained all that at the beginning, and I was going to go over my new setup here. I've talked about my Trail Boss axe in other videos. You know, I got the handle wrapped with paracord and 2-part epoxy. Works really, really well. So I got this new case, and I got it on Amazon. It was only 20 bucks. But in here I keep you know, magnesium and ferro rod, you know, for starting a fire. An old friend of mine, he made this for me, engraved my name into it, and it's got a little striker in there to attach the leather rope. Pretty nice, I like it. We used it quite a few times. And then I've got, you know, just a diamond sharpener. You know, one side's coarse, the other side's fine, you know, and you can sharpen fish hooks in that groove if you really needed to. Not that anybody ever really sharpens fish hooks. And then it comes with this nice strap. I like it. Holds my axe right through the center there, which is really nice. And then this is the new saw that I just got from Amazon. It's the Boreal 21. I haven't actually gotten to use it yet. Jeremy did use it just that one morning a little bit so he could make some food. He wanted to cook up some ramen, didn't want to take out the propane, so I didn't actually get to use this. He said it worked really well, cut up the small branches he was cutting up, but I'm actually looking forward to getting out there and processing some firewood for camp. So maybe in my next video I'll be able to actually use it and show it off and give a little, you know, thought on what I think, how it compares to my other ones that I've used. I'm looking forward to it, but I did mention that I was going to talk about it a little bit during my video, and I didn't have a chance while I was camping. But I'm home, and as I was unpacking the car, I remembered that I was going to mention this in the video, so figured I'd bring it up now. Pretty durable. I like it. It seems pretty stiff. It makes the blade really tight. So I guess in one of my future videos we'll actually use it and see how well it works. Alright, thanks for watching.